The Second Amendment of the United States Constitution guarantees the right of Americans to bear arms, but the interpretation and implementation of this amendment have been the subject of intense debate and controversy. In recent years, there has been a growing movement to change gun laws in the United States, with advocates arguing that stricter regulations are necessary to reduce gun violence and save lives. To provide a balanced analysis of the issue, I have compiled 10 facts for and against changes to gun laws that have been confirmed by research. 10 facts for stricter gun laws. In states with stronger gun laws, there are fewer firearm deaths. States with background checks for all gun sales have lower rates of gun homicides. States with red flag laws that allow authorities to temporarily seize guns from individuals deemed a danger to themselves or others have lower suicide rates. Research has found a link between the availability of firearms and an increased risk of homicide, suicide, and unintentional injury. The majority of Americans, including gun owners, support stronger gun laws, such as universal background checks and red flag laws. The United States has the highest rate of gun violence among developed countries. The United States experiences more mass shootings than any other country. The majority of gun deaths in the United States are suicides. A study found that states with mandatory waiting periods for gun purchases had a 17% lower rate of gun homicides than states without waiting periods. Research has found that domestic violence incidents are more likely to result in death when a firearm is present. 10 facts against stricter gun laws. The vast majority of gun owners are law-abiding citizens who use their firearms for self-defense, hunting, and sport. Gun ownership is protected by the Second Amendment of the United States Constitution. Stricter gun laws may infringe on individual rights and liberties. Criminals are unlikely to obey gun laws, and stricter regulations may only affect law-abiding citizens. The United States already has a complex system of federal and state gun laws, and further regulation may be difficult to enforce. Guns are not the only factor contributing to gun violence. Mental health, poverty, and other social factors also play a role. Guns are often used to prevent crimes, and self-defense is a legitimate reason for owning a firearm. Stricter gun laws may lead to a black market for guns, increasing the availability of illegal firearms. There is no clear evidence that gun buyback programs or bans on certain types of firearms reduce gun violence. The United States has a long history of gun ownership and culture, and many Americans view firearms as an essential part of their identity and way of life. Based on these facts, it is clear that the issue of gun law in the United States is complex and multifaceted. While there is evidence to support both sides of the debate, it is ultimately up to policymakers and the public to weigh the pros and cons and make informed decisions. Many well-known businessmen and politicians have weighed in on the issue of gun law in the United States. For example, former New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg has been a vocal advocate for stricter gun laws, while former President Donald Trump has been a staunch supporter of gun rights. Businessman and entrepreneur Elon Musk has expressed support for the Second Amendment but has also called for universal background checks. In conclusion, the issue of gun law in the United States is one that will continue to be debated and discussed for years to come. By considering the facts and perspectives on both sides of the debate, policymakers can make informed decisions about how to best address the issue of gun violence in the country. In addition to enacting new laws and regulations, there are also other strategies that can be used to reduce gun violence. These may include increased funding for mental health services, community-based violence prevention programs, and public education campaigns. It is important to recognize that the issue of gun law in the United States is a complex one that requires thoughtful consideration and debate. By continuing to engage in constructive dialogue and exploring evidence-based solutions, we can work towards a safer and more secure future for all Americans. Here are some of the most recent mass shootings in the U.S. April 15, 2021, FedEx warehouse in Indianapolis. At least 8 people have died. March 22, 2021, grocery store in Boulder, Colorado. A gunman in a grocery store killed 10 people. March 16, 2021, spa in the Atlanta area. 8 people, including 6 Asian women, were killed at 3 resorts. March 16, 2020, gas station in Springfield, Missouri. Shooting at a distance of 5 miles claimed the lives of 5 people. August 31, 2019, drive-by shooting in Midland and Odessa, Texas. A bandit who hijacked a mail truck killed 7 people and injured 25 others.